pain's never gonna stop, is it? The pain is never gonna stop, is it? Dwayne Haskins, really? Dwayne Haskins, out of all people, dude. Oh, this organization is so laughable. Like, it's just been nonstop pain for like a year straight. It starts 2019. Ben gets injured. He's out for the whole year. And we have to play with a reindeer and a duck for our quarterbacks. And it gets so bad to the point where at the end of the season, Paxton Lynch and JT Barrett were on our roster too. Somehow we finished 8-8, which is, you know, considering what we had to work with, because I go back and watch a lot of these highlights, and, you know, Ducks throw into this dude Tevin Jones, and I don't even know who Tevin Jones is. You know, he's probably working at Walmart now, and he was on an NFL team last season. So you really consider what we had to work with last year, and I put us at 8-8. I mean, you know, it's not horrible. If we would have had Ben and, you know, good receivers, it probably could have been a lot better. Sorry. So yeah, that was like the start of the pain. I already knew once Ben got hurt that playoffs were no chance. So every time we won a game, I was, you know, like surprised. So I wasn't really disappointed when we lost to Baltimore or whatever, week 17, and didn't go to the playoffs. Because let's be real, even if we did go to the playoffs, it would have been just a slaughter. It would have been terrible. It would have been a disaster. And then this year, start off 11-0. That was fantastic. But then just pain, just total pain. Devin Bush tore his ACL early on in the season. Bud Dupree tore his ACL. That was painful. Juju made us look like complete retards. That was painful. And I think the worst pain of all came in week 17 when we rested our starters and got beat by Cleveland, and then said, it's okay. We're going to come back next week. We're going to destroy him. We're going to beat him when it really matters. And then we got blown out by him. Well, we didn't really get blown out. It was it was a lot closer of a game than it should have been, really. When you consider how we played, especially the first half of the game was terrible, especially the first quarter. I didn't even watch the first quarter of the game. I got back. I left right before the game started, and I came back, and it was halftime. We were already we were out of it already. And yeah, that was pain. That was just painful. It was horrible. It was like it was almost laughable to watch that. And now we carry over into off season because, you know, we lost to the Browns in the playoffs. Starting 11-0, we go 1-5, we start off 11-0 and then go 1-5 to finish the year. You know, it can't get much worse than that. It cannot get much worse than that. At least you think. And then, you know, you have all these free agents available. Oh, you know what? Actually, let me backtrack a little bit. Let's go to the draft this year. Okay, the Steelers are on the board. I think, what is it, like the 49th pick of the draft? Maybe, I'm not sure. 62nd. It's the 62nd pick of the draft, I think. And Steelers are on the clock. You know, you've got J.K. Dobbins available. You've got Jalen Hurts available. You've got, you know, plenty of options available. You don't need another wide receiver at this point. You have Juju. You've got Deontay Johnson. You've got James Washington still. You don't need receivers. So what do you do if you're the Steelers? You go out and draft another receiver. I can't tell you why. That's just what Kevin Colbert likes to do. He's just a terrible GM. You know, it's laughable, really. We need a running back, and that shows this year because Connor's not reliable. Samuels, I don't think I actually saw Jalen Samuels in a game this year. I might just be misremembering, but I don't think I saw him. And then what's his face? The one dude that we drafted, Snell. Snell's all right. He's good, actually. I'll give him that. He's all right, I guess. But he's not a running back one. And then that McFarland dude that we drafted later on in the draft, he's iffy. He was a rookie this year. I give him that. He dropped that one pass against who's the first team we lost to? I think Washington. I think it might have been against Washington. But he dropped a really big pass, which, I mean, he's not a receiver, but you still got to have that. I mean, it was a wide open pass. So yeah, let's see. They pass on Dobbins. He comes out, has a really good year for the Ravens. It's another thing. It sucks that we passed on him, and it sucks even worse that the Ravens got him. And so We pass on him. We pass on Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts ends up getting drafted to the other Pennsylvania team, the Eagles, and comes out and doesn't necessarily, he had an all right. I think it was like 4 games he started at the end of the year, and he did pretty good. I mean, he had him in playoff contention, really. Just Doug Peterson is not a good coach, and the Eagles have their own set of problems. But Jalen Hurts did look pretty good. I was actually hoping that they would have got him too in the draft, either him or Dobbins, but definitely not a receiver. Claypool's good. I'll give him that. Claypool's a really good pick. I just don't think at the time the Steelers needed a receiver, and I think that they would have been better off drafting Dobbins. And you come to today, and the Steelers now are looking at, it's just horrible. It's a horrible situation going forward because you look at all the cap space. You look at where Pouncey retired, or Pouncey is going to retire more than likely. Alejandro Villanueva is not going to come back. Ben is on his last year. There's no way this isn't his last year. And you look at all these free agents that we got. There's potential in the draft to get almost anyone you want, because if Juju Smith-Schuster, if we just trade him instead of letting him walk or something, when we sign him, we trade him in the draft or something, and we've got other things. I mean, we can trade some of our second-round picks, try to trade up in the draft, and take that kid from BYU, Zach Wilson, would be a great quarterback to have. We could take Kyle Trask. We could try to take Mac Jones. We're sitting at 24th right now, and we're projected to get Najee Harris, that kid from Alabama, that running back, which would be a really good pick. I'd like to get him and also be able to trade up into the first round too, so we keep our 24 pick and move into like a top 15 pick, and then try to draft someone, a quarterback. If we can get a quarterback and a running back first round, we're set. But what's going to happen is we just signed Dwayne Haskins today. So what's going to happen is Kevin Colbert is going to think we don't need a quarterback now. He's going to try to let Haskins sit behind Ben this year, and Ben's going to retire next year. We're going to have Haskins, and we're going to not know we're not going to be able to do anything. You know why? Because Haskins is not good. I don't know why they signed him. You've got Deshaun Watson wanting to get out of Houston. There are so many quarterbacks that you can take in this draft. There's Trey Lance, who we're projected to actually trade up and draft him as Trey Lance. There's just so many options. And for you to take Dwayne Haskins out of all people, I mean, even Sam Darnold might be better than Dwayne Haskins. He's looking to get out of New York. There's just so many options, and the fact that we take Dwayne Haskins, I just don't understand it. It's just painful, man. It's just been nonstop pain by this team for like a year straight now, and I just can't do it anymore, man. We're gonna do something stupid in the draft too. We're gonna probably trade out of our 24th pick. We're gonna trade up, and instead of drafting like a skill position, we're gonna draft a lineman or something. It's just so dumb. I can't stand it, man. Whatever.